we gotta talk. Depth psychology, Jungian psychology, psychology in general, should always be paired with any sort of religious understanding, because a lack of self-awareness cannot be bridged by religion in any way, shape, or form. You need to broaden your perspective before you can have an understanding. When you are solely focused on a dichotomous, dualistic worldview, you are going to inevitably demonize those who not only oppose your perspective, but do not stand within the confines of it. What is contributing to my desire to create this video is actually witnessing the demonization of Doja Cat and the idealization or glorification of Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey just released a song called Angel with her lighthearted, sweet self. And Doja Cat just released Paint the Town Red. And Doja Cat is in a stage of shadow introduction, right? Not necessarily integration quite yet. She's still working on turning that aggression into assertiveness, among other things. But the awareness is there, right? That makes a lot of people uncomfortable. That makes a lot of people want to externalize blame because they're not in touch with that part of themselves yet. The problem is that these are people that don't understand that both wolves exist within each and every one of us. So they're demonizing her. This is why I don't really care for religion. It's not that I don't see the metaphysical value when religions are followed appropriately, right? For example, Christianity should be the elevation of love, and it's usually not. When you talk about metaphysically, you're talking about Jesus being a physical embodiment, a physical representation of the vibrational energy that is love, the highest vibrational capacity any human can reach. People don't understand that. So instead, they're following a book and not understanding it properly, okay? So when you talk about that and you talk about the welcoming of all, the inclusivity of all, the love of all, the love towards all, it would be completely different, wouldn't it? And I was just talking to my boyfriend about this actually, because he's a 17 frequency man, which means he's a great sounding board for me. A 17 frequency being, which is where I'm currently at, cannot have a productive conversation as far as intellectual growth, as far as spiritual growth with 13 frequency beings. You can't. So you have to have someone on the same frequency as you to remind you of your perspective and the power it holds and the growth it holds, right? Because most of the world is not yet there. And he told me, he said, so everything you just said, because I said, I was called a demon today because I have a different perspective. I said, but I get it, right? Christians perceive everyone that holds a different perspective, everyone that holds different beliefs, anyone that they seem as oppositional of their beliefs, as a demon, as the problem, as their enemy in spiritual warfare. So I get it. I'm not going to sit here trying to convince any Christian of anything, right? Because then I'm the enemy. All I'm here to do is spread awareness to those who are ready to receive it. And when I tell you guys that demonizing Illuminati initiates, if that's what she is, and I would argue that she is simply because she did get a tattoo with an entity paired with a number 4. And according to Demetra's number system, what does the number 4 represent? An agreement. But also what? Awareness. Okay, so I'm not anyone that demonizes or problematizes any sort of belief, agreement, because at the end of the day, first of all, awareness is the goal, because the highest level of awareness, highest level of consciousness is preferred. I mean, look at me, goat level awareness. I wouldn't trade my perspective for anything in this world, and it came from darkness. It came from opposition. It came from being demonized. It came from being misunderstood. It came from being hated. It came from being lied about. So I get it, right? She's just experiencing it on a much larger scale. And in due time, she will gain understanding of shadow integration instead of merely shadow introduction, right? And she will become the most well-rounded, full version of herself. So if you want to hop on the bandwagon of glorifying only those who only understand the light, you're making a huge mistake. You won't have the understanding that those of us have that have walked the treacherous darkness. Expand your awareness. Learn to love all. Learn to recognize where everyone is on their own journey. Stop hating. Stop demonizing. Start recognizing we all hold light and dark. We all hold yin and yang. We all hold feminine and masculine. We all hold good and evil. Stop fearing what you don't understand. Stop demonizing those who you don't agree with, and you'll actually ascend.